Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for nobody's favorite segment, and it is called the Sicko Sideline. So everybody watched WrestleDream, and everybody started melting down, and it caused a bunch of IWC arguments. We got Amanda Huber versus Sarah Stock, who is a former trainer in AEW. We got Raj Giri going at Ricochet. We've got everybody just fighting. Nyla Rose getting in the mix, Dax Harwood, Samantha Irvin, leak DMs, JD. I'm over here now. Trisha Paytas, okay, got involved in all of the sickodom and chicanery and everyone melting down over this spot here, okay? And it all started with this. So AEW, somebody stop this, right? And it's Jon Moxley drowning Darby Allin in like a kid's fish tank that you keep some goldfish in or whatever. Put a turtle in there, some plastic trees. And it's just, man, AEW's, it is garbage. Like you see like this, it's garbage when people are like, oh, it's for kids. And then they go, well, we save this till the late night part. Okay, well, it's on the weekend, and parents, sometimes you let your kids stay up late on a weekend and watch, like, even, well, we have it. We'll talk about it in a bit, but even Jimmy Van, the founder of Fightful or whatever, he's like, my wife was grotesque, like mortified, thought this was grotesque, and like our kids' favorite wrestlers, Moxley, they want to stay up and watch it. My wife was like, absolutely not, because he's gross, he's just stupid. This is dumb. Objectively, it's trash and it's dumb. I don't care. It's not working. It's not helping the ratings. Okay. It attracts the wrong kind of audience, and it just is what it is, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You guys can stand there and be like, nah, man, it's the real pro wrestling. We just watched the Usos come out, and all these little kids are yeeting, and they have, these kids are like hugging them and crying, and he grabs the baby and they're all yeeting, and some people are like, oh, that's just fed pilled sloppy, and it's like, no, dude, like, how is that? No, this is real wrestling. Really, really hurting each other is real wrestling, and simulating torture and like nearly killing each other, yeah, that's real graps, man. Changing that kid's life, giving that kid a moment he's going to remember forever. That's not real. That real feeling that you just gave that's not real. This is real. This is real tough guy, man. In the streets, I'll drown you in a fishbowl, dude. So, and we uncovered the reason why Moxley didn't blade was because fucking there's no blood in St. Louis. Thank you, chat. But Sarah Stock had this to say. And she used to work in AEW. She was like the head trainer for the women or whatever. She's like, who should stop this? Mothers with their remote control. This is worse than the plastic bag over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home. True that. True fucking that. And if you're a parent letting your kid watch this, you're a fucking idiot. And it's the same thing. And people try and do this. Oh man, well, stone cold beer baths and puppies and all this other bullshit. That wasn't for kids. Yeah, it wasn't. And you shouldn't have been watching that. And if your parents let you watch that, they're fucking redacted. And my parents let me watch that. They're redacted. I'll be the first to fucking tell you this. Okay? It's not like I'm being unfair here. So this guy goes, cry harder. I grew up watching WWF and WCW playing outside. Kids these days don't even play outside anymore. LOL, they're stuck on their phones and iPads. Okay, that's a whole other conversation, bud. And she goes, me too, my dude. And violence is my jam, but I encourage you to look at the broader picture of AW protecting itself. I'm talking about liability. Yeah, they just don't listen to that. They're just fucking, there's people who just want to look up like fight videos and fucked up shit online, and that's who this shit attracts. Period, man. So many people, like what happened was Amanda Huber got into an argument with her, but she leaked these DMs. So she's responding to Miss Kayfabe, who I just can't interact with or whatever. But she was like, I texted her before I tweeted. Her reply was that I needed to be tougher. And so Sarah's like, she said you told her to wait by talent viewing, and I told her I'd let you know we asked for her help. Oh, yeah, no problem. Don't need her at the moment. She just was concerned because you asked her to do something, so I wanted to make sure she was listening. Thanks so much. And then Amanda Huber goes, quote tweeting a video of me talking about kids with grief to defend your bullshit is piece of shit behavior. I expected better of you. How fucking disappointing. And then Sarah said, you got to be a little tougher than that, Amanda. One tweet should not send a person into curse-filled hysteria. And then Amanda goes, you exploited my words about grief to defending being a hypocrite and lecturing me on composure. You're not tough. You're pathetic. I don't know, man. This is like they personally know each other. So I don't know. What did she quote tweet? So I think maybe I'm missing that part of it, but she's leaking texts. We're leaking texts here. Okay. And so some people, had takes on this. People were arguing. Matt Keane and Raj Giri were arguing. So here's Amanda and Sarah Stock. This is what she was referring to. So Amanda Huber says, want to know what my kids, because I have kids, were doing at midnight last night? Sleeping. Want to know why? Because they're kids. My wrestling loving kids. Want to know what they weren't watching? A match between two performers who are known for taking things to an extreme. Want to know why? Because it's my responsibility as a parent to know what they're consuming. It's cool though. I'll let them watch some old TNA stuff and they can learn to choke each other out with a belt, since that's cool, because checks notes, tits look great. Amanda, this is such a fucking L take, because you're pretending. This is the problem, right? With what Amanda's doing. She's sitting here pretending she's like taking the higher ground, but then you're throwing in little barbs like, oh yeah, choking with a belt. I'm assuming Sarah Stock choked someone with a belt or got her choked with a belt because tits look great or whatever. And it's just being ignorant to like what the times used to be like. It's also being ignorant to like women couldn't even wrestle at the level they do now. These doors wouldn't be kicked down if girls like Sarah Stock and fucking Serena Deeb shaved her fucking head, and some of these other, like Trish had to bark like a dog so she could have serious wrestling matches and main event Raw against Lita, and then come back all these years later and have real wrestling matches and serious storylines. It's unfortunate, but they had to fucking do that. So it's kind of like undermining what all these women did before, like she had control over tits looking great and shit, like none of these women had control over that. It's the fucking booker, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. So, Sarah Stock said, thank you. I agree. They are phenomenal. Natural too. Sorry about the southbound journey yours have taken. Oh, man. Oh no, Sarah. See, now Sarah's stooping to a low. Just bring the southbound. Oh no, she's talking about her titties. Yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay. Damn, dude. So yeah, they're just stooping a low, attacking looks. Women will always do that too. You're a fucking slut. You're a whatever, It's so funny. Thank you also for repeating exactly what I said in different words. Which is true. Which is fucking true. Like Amanda's just now pretending she's taking the higher ground, or maybe she thinks she is, but she's just repeating what Sarah Stock was saying. Okay. These two are arguing, like they're duking it out here. So let's see here. Let's see what, who should stop this mother. So Amanda quote tweeted it and said, this was midnight on a pay-per-view. Yeah, but dude, it's not midnight everywhere. Like you're talking about where it was geographically. Like, no, for some people it was earlier than that. And for some people, if AEW is this global entity, it was during the day. If you, depending where you live in the world and shit, right? So no, it wasn't just midnight. And it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Like, where was the warning? Like, okay, after this period, Raw's going dark, Raw Underground or whatever, right? Like, where, I don't know, man. So Amanda says, meanwhile, when you were working, you choked another woman out with a belt. Where was the outrage over kids trying that? No, that's fucking true, man. But that is an extreme. Like, here's the thing, man. I don't sit here and go, oh, kids trying any of wrestling, right? So personally, I am with Amanda where it's like, kids trying this could die. Kids trying fucking BMX bike riding could die. But if you don't let them try, and I'm not saying let your kids try with like drowning in a fishbowl or whatever. This is all I'm saying, man, is that AEW just talks out of both sides of their fucking mouth. They talk out of their ass while talking out of their mouths. Like they like to sit there and say it is family friendly entertainment, and then people email WBD and they go, "Nah, AEW does extreme shit. Families, parents should use caution when watching our shit." And then they do stuff like this. So what is it? Is it family friendly, or is it fucking drown people in fish bowls? Now, kids should not be trying any of pro wrestling at home. So like I'm not gonna go that far and bring people's kids into it and titties and all that. But these two are clearly taking it personal. Like this is like they're hot at each other. And so and like choking with a belt. Yeah, that is fucked up. But is it the same as fucking drowning in a fishbowl, man? I don't know. I just think that it's garbage. You can't argue. This is the thing. All this other shit gets brought into it because at the end of the day, people just want to say, look, it's garbage. It's garbage. And they keep upping the ante. Like, what stupid jackass stunt are they going to do next? And that's really where the problem lies. But nobody wants to fucking just say that part because then it gets, you get into an argument of subjectivity. Well, no, I like it. People like horror movies and gory whatever movies. Yeah, I don't want to hang out with people watching fucking Lucifer Valentine flicks. Okay. That's not, I think that's fucked. There's like Michael Myers, and then there's like insane shit. With AEW, they try to bring that like death match element to their hardcore wrestling. It just doesn't work for the wide mainstream audiences. I don't care if it did in the fucking 80s with luchas, or I mean in Japan or whatever the fuck. No one cares. Amanda says, and you want to quote tweet a video of me talking about kids' grief to defend you being a hypocrite? Fuck all the way off. So, I mean, yeah, that is fucked. What video is this? What video got quote tweeted about kids' grief? She keeps saying that. So this guy goes, come on, Amanda. There were many kids in attendance. Right. We watched that video of that grandma who won free tickets and was like, I'm bringing my grandson. Imagine them seeing that bullshit. And then they rush the finish. Like, it's just garbage. It's garbage. I'm sorry. You guys can fucking cry about it all you want. You guys can fight over. And the other thing they did is they cut from the tailgate brawl. They started the pay-per-view with guys already fighting in the fucking ring. And Raj Giri said, it's low rent. Everyone's spurged out. It's like, who cares? I liked it. We'll get into that in a bit, right? But this guy goes, oh, come on now, Amanda. There were many kids in attendance. Darby high-fived a kid on his way out. I know AEW has done a lot for you and your family, but to attack a solid, logical opinion is just weird and very I don't like when people just go, it's just weird. No, it's not weird. It's like defensive. Say it's defensive. Like, be more descriptive than weird. You know, it's weird. Okay, well, what's weird? And very telling of how biased you can be. And then Amanda goes, solid logical opinion to blame mothers, not fathers. Oh, God, see? To blame mothers and not fathers. No, now you're making it like a sexist thing. You're fucking moving the goalposts. Because honestly, Amanda's response is out of anger and it's emotion. It's not, she's not really trying to have the conversation about whether or not she's sitting there like, well, do you know where my kids are? In bed. And it's like, right, but why? Because you wouldn't let them watch this fucking garbage. Would you, Amanda? You wouldn't let them stay up late to watch this garbage because you knew it'd be fucking garbage. And that's not what you're just like mad that she's attacking AEW and everyone's sticking up for AEW right now because it's a fucking laughing stock. And that's what Amanda's doing. And now she's just moving the goalpost to blame mothers, not fathers. No, it's just matriarchs are they're the foundation of the household. They're the glue of the household. It's fucking mom tucks you in. She fucking, you know what I mean? It's just it's like an expression, just parents in general, right? Now you're trying to like make a distinct mothers. Like, come on, man. You knew what she meant. It's just parents in general. And then she made the same point, like my kids were in bed. Well, exactly. That's her point because it's garbage and kids shouldn't be watching this garbage. Right. And you knew that. And so that's why, because you're a good mom, Amanda, and you put your fucking kids to bed and didn't let them watch that shit. Right. Because you're a good mother and no one's taking that away from you. But like, don't, you're just angry at her for her opinion. That's really all it is. Is okay spot when so she brings up the tits look good. Putting a belt around someone else's neck is an okay spot when your tits look good. Is that because she responded to her getting choked out and said, oh, at least my tits look good or something? Like, I don't fucking know, man. Again, it's adults. Like, she's making a joke. She's trying to be like jovial about it or like less serious, you know? Like, don't be so angry about her fucking opinion. This happened to Gail Kim too. Everyone just got so fucking angry at her opinion. If your kid is the type to copy this type of behavior, then any pro wrestling isn't for them. Right, but there's such things as influences. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's hypocritical and overall a shitty take. No, I think it's not a shitty take. And to be clear, I didn't like the spot or even the match. It's not my taste. Exactly. but I didn't come online blaming others. Blaming others for what? She just said, like, this is the problem. People like to, when they, so Amanda's she's just answering emotionally. None of this makes sense, right? We all share the commonality of language. If she's like, mothers should put their kids to bed and not watch this bullshit, you cannot take that personally. That's just saying like they're just saying this is garbage, and you're taking it to this whole like, I'm offended as a mother. I don't know, man. This just seems like you're just mad, you know? It's not my taste, but I didn't come online blaming mothers. Who cares what you did online? Who cares what you did online? Unless you're hurting people or looking up fucking kitty pics. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you do online. That's nobody's business. Doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? Like, now you're trying to like govern what people do online. No. Blaming mothers and then use a video of a company doing good as some type of gotcha moment. I don't know what that means either. Company doing good. So we're just in the thick of it. People are going to war. And then Sarah Stock says, you're exposing your ignorance. And then Amanda says, what ignorance exactly? Please educate me on your expertise when it comes to children or parenting. So I don't know. People's parenting getting questioned now. Right? So they went to fucking war. I'm ready for war. Duh. So Sarah Stock, former producer and coach for AEW, spoke against this. Kids are going to be trying this stuff at home. Right? Did Sarah Stock get fired from AEW? So Matt Morgan, I'm not sure, right? Or did she just quit? So Matt Morgan said, a friend of the show, said Sarah Stock is one of the most respected by far and away people I've ever worked with in this business with. Any locker room she's a part of when designing matches as an agent, you're lucky to be a part of it. When designing match, you're lucky to be a part of it as a talent. So when she says something like this, everybody needs to be friggin' listening. So an endorsement from Matt Morgan there. I'll show him some love. That's my guy. And so, even Trisha Paytas, okay? And I tweeted this out. I was like, dude, Trisha Paytas co-hosted a show with Ethan Klein and does Korn. Even she's like, nah, that's some sicko shit. You know what I mean? And Trisha Paytas roasts AEW and says it's backyard farm pro wrestling. Even this bitch is like, the fuck? Backyard farm pro wrestling. Jesus Christ. This is a woman who does like mukbangs, dude. Does mukbangs and OF. And I was like, nah, I'm good. This is low rent farmhouse shit. We had people just melting down though about other stuff. I'm trying to see if there's any more of the fishbowl situation and like how stupid it's gotten to that point. The fish tank. It's like what I said before. What's next? He pulls a bouquet of flowers out of his asshole. Like where do you go with AEW? It's just garbage. And so this guy here says all this outrage for Mox and Darby's match makes me wonder, how is it possible that Japan is such a nice and safe place to live after all that crazy death matches in the 80s and 90s? Because stupid, their parents didn't let their kids watch that shit. It's a different culture. There's a culture of degeneracy in the fucking West, if you haven't noticed. Okay? These people are not even fucking real. They don't exist in reality. So anyways, please don't look at Sarah Stock for parenting tips. She's no good for the kids. And then pulls up when she was arrested. She was charged with aggravated battery, resisting law enforcement, disorderly conduct. This is in 2020. Public intoxication. Had most recently worked as a producer on WWE's main roster. She was released last month after having spent several months on furlough due to the company's COVID-19 pandemic cutbacks. And then AEW hired her. So again, it's cult-like behavior. She's the shits, except for when I was sucking Tony Khan's balls.
Best guy's Tony Khan.
So, okay, people have gotten arrested. Do I condone that? No. Have I been arrested for drunken, disorderly, and battery and assaulting people? No. Have people gotten fucking drunk and made a mistake? Yup. It's not like she drove and deleted people by that. Would be like, holy fuck, that's like some unforgivable shit right there, but it's not even that extreme. Unfortunately, who knows? Did she just get in a fight at a bar? Like, what are the ins and outs? She's not good for the kids. Fucking, she was hired to AEW. And so she just posted a picture. She's like, outrage. This is literally me right now. And it's her like sitting naked, I think, or with like a bunch of plants. She might not even have clothes on there. I actually can't tell. There's a fern in front, and unfortunate, how sickos just turn on people when they leave the cult. You're not allowed, if you don't work there, you get attacked. And so Sarah Stock said, wait, well, here, somebody, Fightful Select says AEW is no longer working with one of their producers. Fightful Select has confirmed that Sarah Stock has been let go by AEW. So this is just them responding or reporting this like back in the day. It was like this year probably she was released, but you guys get the point. And so this guy says, damn, Lady Salty. And Sarah Stock says, wait, I haven't worked there in 6 months. Was somebody going to tell me? So is she just revealing that report was not real and that she actually did work there when they said she didn't? That would be fucking hilarious. Gail Kim says, keep speaking your mind, Sarah. Time to go to line. Your bitter is worthless now. Oh, the go-to line. I'm dyslexic. Your bitter is worthless now. Yeah, 100%, dude. And then this guy, like, here's a sicko reaction to the drowning in the water, right? This guy goes, he washed the company of its sins in the water Mox baptized him in. Fuck cinema. This is biblical.
You fucking mark! Wrestling's not fake!
Wrestling's for dirtbags and lily pickers.
Like, that's cult shit. It's biblical. He spoke to the Lord. So Stephen Mulhausen, sorry. He's a boxing, MMA, NFL. So I said the wrong guy. I said Jimmy Van earlier, I think, when I was saying that. Somebody quote tweeted this and was like, you know what? I like AEW, but my kids wanted to see Mox and my wife was appalled. So it was actually Stephen Mulhausen. Okay. So he says, you know what, Amanda, my kids went to bed at 10 Eastern and I watched the rest of the show with my wife. She was petrified at the spot. And in all honesty, I was too. My sons are big fans of Moxley. And they wanted to watch it. And my wife told them absolutely not because of some spots that were suited for children. And like she knows that from previously watching Moxley and shit. So again, Amanda saying, well, I wouldn't show my kids that. I put them to bed. But fuck you for saying you wouldn't show kids that. And mothers, why not fathers? I don't know. Why not monkeys? Why not giraffes? Why not fucking were we taught Peter Dinklage earlier? Your people is Ariel Helwani he called it. Right? Why not dwarfs, right? Why not fucking giants? I don't know, dude. Like, why not? You're just moving the goalposts. Like, you're just triggered that they're talking about AEW. That's okay, but just try and be objective. I know you're upset by what she said, but like, if you try and be objective, it wouldn't be so triggering, And so we went over that, and Raj Giri also triggered everybody. He called AEW low rent, okay? And he got into it with Matt Kuhn, and he got into it with Ricochet, and JD from NY got into the mix. What JD had to say here. So we'll start with JD. But JD goes, new video. AEW unleashed Amanda Huber, a parent herself, to police the criticisms of the AEW WrestleDream main event between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin Gabagoo, dumbing down other parents' concerns in yet another example of AEW refusing to handle criticism. Meanwhile, every action has a reaction, has a reacts. Let me ask you about a reaction. And the demos say less and less kids are watching your dying product, and that's just it. There's no kids watching, and you guys bring in Big Boom, AJ Bufumo or whatever. It's not geared towards younger folks in the first place. So this is the problem, right? No one is saying this. They have a fucking identity crisis. Is it for kids? Is it not for kids? Tony says it is. WBD says it isn't. The wrestling says it isn't. The key demo, the fans watching it say it isn't. So what is it? Is it for kids or is it not? Are we defending it or are we all agree it's garbage? I thought we all agreed it's garbage and it's not for kids. But no, Tony and Amanda Huber and these other people go, oh, no, it's for kids. Oh, well, whatever. Don't blame dads. The fuck are we talking about here? It's garbage. Like how many? It's people fucking doing. It's like Saw, the movie Saw. It's just like just people. Okay, you like people getting tortured. That's not for everybody. Some people like to look up videos of like people getting hurt, skateboarder, intense wipeouts and shit. Most people are like, I don't want to see that. I don't need to witness trauma and shit like that. It's traumatizing for some. It is. I don't care what you have to say. It is. You have to be objective about that. taking it too far. Well, just don't watch it. People didn't. It was hardcore indie death matches on the fucking indie death match scenes. None of them have blown up. Why? Because this shit doesn't work. The mainstream doesn't want it. Just like these uber gory torture corn movies never are like the number one movie. There was like a little era where Saw pushed the limit of like mainstream, but like pushing the limit a bit. And then those shits fell off. Because no one cares. Terrifier, not everyone's a fan of Terrifier. Art the Clown rules. I promise you most horror fans are like, that's just garbage. There's a reason Halloween's more famous than fucking Terrifier, dude. It's like, if we can't all accept this, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Is it for kids or not? I say it's not. The demo shows it's not. Amanda Huber says it's not, but she's fucking defending it. What is anyone to do? So JD says, a dying product because the show is the way that it is. Uncool. Go. And so, yeah, he's fucking spot on about it. And so, sickos were going at JD. He had this to say. He's like, geez, Juice, I wonder who you're talking about. This type of hostility towards a strong opinion on AEW is fucking weird. I had 3,000 people in my live stream at 3 a.m. in the morning. Another 1,000 on X. Had 2,600 people watching me read super chats at close to 4 a.m. and probably did over $1,000 in ad revenue when the 24-hour period is totaled. Oh, go. Hardly anyone dared to venture to do the work I do at the hour and stayed. I'm over here, staying here late, working overtime, honey, to cover the show extensively, as energetic as humanly possible until 4 a.m. I am the standard bearer for what post-show reviews are in this entire space, and everyone else is severely, and I am severely, and I mean severely slacking behind. Oh, go! And so this Noah Gilbert guy goes, calling yourself the standard bearer? All right, bro. And then Raj is like, when you have got the numbers to prove it, you've got the numbers to prove it. He's the top in the space. He is. He fucking is. All right? He fucking is. Look how easy it is to just be honest and objective. Yeah, he is. And I tell you guys, I strive. I see JD getting numbers like that. I'm like, I can do that one day. I can get there. That motherfucker's there, and I'm not even hating on him. I do impressions and shit. It's all fun. You guys know. He shouted it out. He heard it. He knows it. But yeah, JD's right, dude. He's right when he's saying that. Is he being a little cocky? Sure. Do some people not like it? Sure. Who gives a fuck? JD had this to say. Tony Khan goes, thank you all who watched AEW. I thought Saturday was amazing. It's all subjective opinions. I thought that AEW WrestleDream was a tremendous pay-per-view where everyone stepped up. And I'm so excited as we're back on TV very soon for Wednesday Night Dynamite. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, or Central, this Wednesday. And then JD had this to say. He goes, yeah, all subjective opinions until it's not. And you actively do what you can with your power to silence certain people, if you know what I mean. Go. To silence them. Keep the cannoli. Yeah, it's true, though. And JD's just pissed off. And I quote tweeted one of his shits, and I was like, tell Hog to go fuck themselves. Like, you don't need them, bro.